Hello guys, I'm Audioman, and today we'll take a look at and overanalyze the brand new behind-the-scenes footage from the upcoming Gothic Remake. Before I start, small disclaimer, all criticism is made in good faith, even when snarky, and the intention here is not to insult the devs who have always engaged the community in good faith as well. Enjoy!
As you were.
When we started the project, we obviously played or replayed the original Gothic games to have kind of like a fresh memory. Because I mean, in your head you always have a better version like kept than it actually was.
Okay, so we're not off to a great start. You might be thinking, that's a strange thing to say, why even start the behind-the-scenes video with something like this? You can hear that statement a lot when it comes to remakes of older titles. It feels like no remake is complete without this passive-aggressive remark that the original actually isn't what it's cracked up to be, and the game being made now could never match this completely false idea of it that the fans have. I don't think the intent here was malicious, and while I do agree that sometimes nostalgia can color our memories, this kind of statement is usually made in order to try and imply that the older title was actually inferior to the remake being produced, and therefore is to be disregarded completely. That was the attitude that Capcom had towards the original Resident Evil games, which is why GOG had such trouble convincing them to re-release the originals on PC. It's also why at this point in time we still don't have most of the original Silent Hill games on the platform. Konami just doesn't care and thinks remakes are the way to go. We see an unidentifiable generic reptile, which may be a lurker, a lizard, or really anything from any RPG game. It's probably a lurker since it's close to the water and the tail has a small fin at the end. Other than that, it has literally nothing to do with the original design. If anything, it looks closer to the lurker from Arcania than Gothic 1. Here we have an unidentifiable generic reptile, which may be a snapper, a razor, or really anything from any RPG game.
I don't know what that is.
It's probably a razor because it has, what I can only assume to be, razor sharp spikes on its back. Not really clever, but okay. It looks literally nothing like the original design, instead looking like the 1998 American Godzilla design. Why that change was made, I have no idea. Perhaps they were deemed to be too similar to the snappers, which wasn't an issue in the original game, but when you choose to make every creature some mixture of greyish, greenish brown, it suddenly does become an issue.
Memorable landmarks.
First level that in which we were working back in the days was the ancient monastery. In the original game was like a pretty empty space, and we tried to give it a twist.
Okay, so let's start with the monastery twist. Yeah, in the original, the monastery is fairly desolate because it's in complete ruin. The only structure somewhat intact is the outer wall, and even that has holes in it. I already gave my 2 cents about this change in one of my previous videos, so to avoid just saying the same thing all over again, deciding that the original sucks and taking nothing from it was not the good way to go. The monastery looks generic and like something straight from titles like Forspoken. It has that Unreal Engine 5 look that doesn't serve it well. One of the reasons why the original was so desolate was to make fighting the horde of snappers and the troll adventure there easier. This also gave the monastery the feeling of being truly buried in time, which I'm not getting here.
In order to make it more interesting, and I think that after a few iterations...
We also see an unidentifiable generic reptile, which we can safely assume to be a snapper. It's almost the same exact model as it was in Gothic playable teaser. Other than that, it has literally nothing to do with the original design. It has upper limbs, some sort of beak, it's the same blunt color palette like the rest of the creatures.
We got it. And the other one that was a very challenging task was the Sleeper Temple. A very big temple with a lot of spaces, rooms.
We also see the statues of unidentifiable... Okay, you know what I'm going to say. I assume these to just be statues of demons, and these are similar to the demon in Xardas's tower, which was revealed to us a while back. These designs completely throw the alien, interdimensional, and slightly Lovecraftian aesthetic of original demons out of the window. They just look like something from Diablo now.
Shrines.
Estoy especialmente orgullosa de cómo quedó la Torre Xardas y que
Okay, so I already said previously that I do not like the redesign of Xardas' tower. It seems like everything in this remake had to be cranked up to 11, and this tower looks like some pile of junk from Fallout 4. Did Xardas suddenly become a super mutant or something? Why did someone look at the original tower and decided, you know what, that's not enough spikes, we need more?
Creo que fue bastante complicado también llevárnoslo a nuestro terreno. Creo que es bastante especial como ha quedado y que siempre recordaré pues, todo el proceso que hemos hecho para llegar a unas referencias nuevas, interesantes.
The inside is way too splendorous. It misses that harsh edge that the original had to it, reflecting the nature of its owner. This looks like a palace, while the most cozy feature of the original was a carpet.
Respetar todo el original, añadir más contenido a todo ese escenario, esa zona, y creo que está muy chulo.
I'm sure we'll come up with a very big list of pretty memorable.
I already poked fun at it the last time, but here we see Jesus Christ in Gothic. No thought given to the how and why of the stained glass or to the original occultist aesthetic.
Places we want to visit again and we recognize, and the same with characters. I mean, you have Diego, Gorn, Xardas, Raven, Gomez. I mean, there's a very pretty...
I've noticed something interesting when they put all of these characters together. Nobody is allowed to just have a mustache anymore. Am I crazy? Every character that has a mustache in the original now has a full beard. Why? They also slapped a beard on Lee for some reason, who still looks like a model, and on the other end of the spectrum, Milton looks like he's about to overdose on some substance you can only gain from rubbing poisonous frogs together.
Of memorable people.
Our main...
The Nameless hero looks... okay. I don't think he looks enough like his rendition on the G2 cover. He might just as well be any other NPC.
Inspiration was obviously the visuals of the old one, because there was a lot of fine detail in there, although it was just 512 by 512 or even lower. So we tried to extract that and read that. So we categorized the character.
Wait, so these concept arts show that you did allow mustache for characters at some point. Why did that change? Who came along and said no mustache allowed? Also, that Xardas rendition looks fantastic. It looks better than the one in the game.
There's in tier A, tier B and tier C. So tier A is like the full-on like main story NPCs that are like super critical for the main stories that you interact with a lot. And for us it was also very important that every phase need to be unique and like also feature a certain...
How are Tarok and more so Urshak B-tier characters? I was going to make a joke about Ian and Merdarion being in the same tier since we have to interact with Ian multiple times during certain crucial quests, and I don't think Merdarion even has any voice lines in the original, but Urshak has a key role in the plot. Speaking of which, what on earth is this hairstyle? He looks like he's about to call Harry Potter by his last name, not like an orc shaman from Gothic.
Constraints. To address this, we created our own tool called Maestro.
Oh no! The character created Milton. That's why he looks so weird. My boy is slapped together from pre-made assets.
Which allows us to mix and match faces, armor items, wardrobe items, hairs, textures, anything.
I mean, we did all the tier A characters pretty early. The other characters got assembled pretty late in the development, and then we realized, okay, we need certain...
Look at this 40-year-old crackhead. He looks like Corcallum in a bad wig on a bad trip.
I think the most difficult character and the one where we iterated on the most was Diego, because he is also the character you meet at the very first thing, and I think he a very beloved character by the fans. So we did a lot of like back and forth and iterations over iterations, and then just by luck we actually were able to come up with the perfect concept art where everybody was like, okay, this is it.
The perfect concept art was a hairy goblin? I mean, I know I'm in the minority on that one, but my boy here looks like the Wicked Witch of the West when she's melting.
So the idea is you get the armor for your camp and you can improve it, but not just in a visual way, also giving your different defense for different elements. So for example, you can be a rogue and go to talk with Wolf and ask him to, okay, let's improve this armor or change the visuals to have this kind of scarf or wolf fur. But it's not just also a visual things, also give you more for example, point defense for arrows or more falling defense for move quickly for the war.
That's really cool. I wish more games did that, honestly. This spell that allows us to freeze the river and traverse it seems crazy cool, and it actually makes me excited for the different schools of magic that we're going to see in the game.
In the Trekart team, we try to give it more soul to the game, we try to make it more alive, more dynamic.
I'm not going to repeat the same generic reptile comment, even though it's just as true. None of the monsters look distinct or like their original designs, with very few exceptions.
Creatures feel more alive when they interact with the environment.
The bloodflies still have glowing demonic eyes and giant maws full of canine teeth.
Also, we take care of the climate changes, such as in the swamp camp there are this fog environment, feeling the environment so reactive towards what.
That scavenger rotting is cooler than almost everything else shown in this video, and they don't even dignify it with a comment. Seriously, tell me more about it. Are we still able to harvest such an animal? Does it eventually become just bones? The original game didn't have an in-between state for dead animals before they rotted away, they just despawned after a certain time due to technological constraints. This, however, can be really cool and finally flesh out this feature.
What's going on, and to see that the creatures actually live in.
Wait a minute. This is a biter. And it actually kinda looks like a biter. Bipedal, no upper limbs, it's still brown because colors other than brown are evil, but holy moly, why aren't the rest of animals like this? I can even get past the eyes. I'm not impatient. I wish I were, but I'm not. Check out my other videos, especially on Darkest Dungeon if you're into dark RPG series. Remember to leave a like and a comment, and as always, I'm Audioman, and I'll hear you next time.